You're not ready for this.
Before we can talk about this, any of this, and especially this, we need to discuss the overpriced mediocrity of the Trend Airshield Pro.
Can we not?
What you're seeing on screen is from their own promotional material. There's enough information out there already that if you're seeing this video on my small channel, then you probably already know exactly what it is, what it does, what it's for, and whether or not it's for you. So I don't need to go extremely in-depth on this. But shop safety is important. The older I get, the more I appreciate that you only get 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 set of lungs. And like everyone else who's exactly like me, when I make a purchase, I like that purchase to be focused on utility. Does it do more than one thing, and does it do those things well? So the idea of having one piece of equipment that could protect most of my favorite body parts really appealed to me. So I dropped the $500 and was immediately disappointed when I put it on. The issues I have with it are in comfort, durability, build quality, and safety, in that the face shield itself doesn't come down below the chin, and depending on the size of your face, doesn't even come down to the chin. And no, that's not me on screen. It's also really thin and flimsy and requires an external wire just to keep its shape, which does not inspire confidence as far as being a Star Trek grade life-saving shield. So I did what any rational person does when they encounter a problem: solve it or get over it, instead of just bitching about it, which is going to be a major theme on this channel. Links to everything I purchased to make this happen will be in the description. The first thing I needed to address is the comfort. Even with the safety issue of the face shield, it's made even less safe by the fact that it just doesn't fit right on my head. Unfortunately, I was cursed with being one of those people that has a weird triangle point on the back of his head. So I actually have 2 different hat sizes depending on where the thing is supposed to sit. The top of my head is a lot more narrow, and usually right at the center of that band is right at the peak of that triangle. So it never quite works right. But even if it did fit well, it still wouldn't be very comfortable because it's just a cheap plastic band ripped straight out of a standard hard hat. So I addressed this by just getting some helmet pads and velcroing them right into place. And as simple as that, it actually fits on my head and is a lot more comfortable. Next, I had to address the face shield itself. So I found this 3M face shield on Amazon that comes further down the face. It's thicker, more rigid, so it holds its shape better and actually provides a sense of confidence that it'll stop heavy flying objects hurtling towards my face.
And it looks a lot cooler.
Installation required some minor modifications, but nothing the Dremel couldn't handle. It obviously wasn't meant for the Airshield frame, which caused a lot of problems. Just more problems to solve with a little creativity and patience, which in my opinion is most of the fun. I won't go into all the detail here, but if you're interested in seeing the complete build and all the hiccups along the way, and there were many, that'll be on Patreon, because 5-Pack Studios is legitimately brand new. It is my only source of income and is providing 0 income at the moment. Even the patent that I keep teasing is running into delays because of prototyping costs. But the bottom line is really that 5-Pack Studios is my way of starting over with life, and every little bit helps.
Go back to the face thing!
So the other issue was the sold separately for extra real dollars, completely useless hearing protection. The concept of a one-size-fits-all hearing protection doesn't really make sense to me, especially when it's in a fixed mounting position and the mask itself pushes so close to the ears. Pretty much is a exact fit or a no fit at all. So when it comes to the earphone add-on, I strongly encourage you to just save your money. But I did find these extremely low-profile Walker earmuffs that are very comfortable, and the helmet just slides right over top of them without any issue at all. Not only are they more comfortable, but through my own unscientific, independent, anecdotal testing, they're a lot better at blocking sound. Next, I needed to fix the way this thing looked. I actually ran into a lot of problems here too, but again, most of those details will be on Patreon. I want this channel to be geared more towards entertainment. You might learn a couple of tips here and there, but mostly I just want to entertain, but also inspire people. And that really comes down to just one piece of advice. Create something. The best advice I can give anybody, just create something and have fun doing it, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Let things evolve and take on a life of their own. But after 20 years in the Navy, and I've seen the worst in people, I can confidently say that everyone needs to consciously choose to pursue a healthy outlet. And if you don't have a creative outlet, you'll default to a destructive outlet. So, woodworking became my therapy. and I hope I can help you find yours while maybe even making you laugh once or twice along the way.
Stop rambling, your paint looks like shit.
I don't necessarily pursue perfection right out of the gate. There's a time and a place for perfection, but for the most part, I like to let the art form speak for itself, and the problems that I encounter along the way just add additional challenges that make the project much more fun. And many times the project will evolve into something better than expected because the creative process of solving those problems just takes on a life of its own. But with regard to not being perfect, all I have to say is this. If Bethesda can sell Fallout 76 with their Bethesda magic that Todd Howard likes to talk about, then the 5-pack magic is very much a thing as well. But in this particular case, since I'm not planning on selling this, the expectation is already pretty low. I'm just doing it for myself. With that said though, I'm actually considering renaming this channel Murphy's Law because for the last few months, everything that possibly could have gone wrong with every aspect of all of these projects I have going on has gone wrong. For example, throughout this process, these plastic screws, which, that's always a great idea, stripped out. So I just went to Home Depot and picked up some steel screws for just a couple of bucks that are exact same size. And now the end result is even better because it works perfectly, it's even stronger. And in trying to make up for some of the lost time, I end up just rushing and moving on to the next step before the previous coat of paint really cures, and it just caused some more problems. So, but in the end, everything worked out because if you look at this thing from a distance, it looks perfect. See? So,
let me sum up.
You can see that the shield comes down well below the chin. It's stronger and safer. The fabric shroud is nice and snug around the bottom while also providing a good seal. It's a lot more comfortable and more snug on my head with a lot less general wiggle and slop everywhere. And as an added benefit, the gold reflectivity helps protect you, the viewer, from being scarred for life. And the paint helps protect against battle droids.
Roger, roger.
And there was a moment where I briefly threw up in my mouth a little when I realized I was making a costume. But just like that, I'm ready to be in front of the camera.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts.
No! God, please, no!
But the really important question is, how well does it work? And the answer is yes.
Would you like to know more?